Hello, and welcome to my Therapist Plays Disco Elysium analysis series. I'll just be real with you. Today's episode is complete chaos. We spoke with Klaasje, and we did a very important volition check, which has revealed some things about Klaasje and ourselves that I didn't really expect. It's maybe my most unhinged episode yet, so fuck it. Let's just get into it. Okay, we're back. It's now the third day. I just want you guys to know, according to Steam, I have been playing this for 33 hours. I don't know what the average playtime is, but I'm sure we've far exceeded it. So, my goal right now, I need to talk to Klaasje. There's a volition check that we didn't get to because I wanted to wait and I wanted to talk to her without Kim present. Something about our interaction left me wanting. See, she's still hanging out here. Smoking all night long, that's what she's been doing. Wait, did our guy just put the flashlight away? Oh, okay. I was about to be like, yo, did the game just put my flashlight away for me and my crowbar? Look, you never know what people will fucking do in the midst of an intense conversation, even those you've come to trust.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
Okay. Now that Kim isn't here, let's talk about Sunday night. We'll get to that volition check.
Ah, yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you're a police officer.
It's one of the first things I remember doing in Elysium.
Wow. Elysium. You don't hear that term often.
She's a glib girl, but she liked the wording.
Did you hear something Sunday night from my room?
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music.
Did I have any visitors?
I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo.
You mentioned loud disco music.
Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them.
She arches her eyebrow, waiting for it to connect with you.
Oh, we're huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
It mostly just gets hard, doesn't it?
It would appear so. At around 2 o'clock,
She
the
just
disco
gets it.
stopped, and there was a change of pace.
She just gets it. What happened?
A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of that time you were yelling along to it.
What was I singing?
That it doesn't matter anymore, and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it.
Yeah, it sounds like we were in our very depressed state. I'm sorry. That's... you didn't become the sorry cop for nothing.
Don't be. I was going out later anyway. It didn't bother me.
Then what happened?
Then you started screaming and trashed the place.
So one of the reasons I find Sorry Cop to be so compelling as a narrative device is because one of the common cognitive distortions, or several of them, are personalizing things, right? And Harry seems to me to be someone who personalizes basically every conversation that he has, meaning that it's not like he puts himself at the center of other people's worlds in a selfish way. It means that from his point of view, his mind is always defaulting to what did I do to cause this, or how am I suffering because of it, right? Every single interaction that we've had It's like, oh, Kim's frustration about this case, like, there's frustrations with the, RCM in general, the way that, like, the culture in Riverdale has treated him. But our focus tends to mostly be on, like, the frustrations that we're causing him. Like, we personalize all of those exchanges. And that would lead us to, even when it's not very deserved, apologize for everything, right? And personalization is a pretty, like, common distortion. Cognitive distortions are basically just like a lens, a perspective that we tend to default to. One of the other common ones is like black and white thinking. Everything is either all or nothing, right? It's either all my fault or none of my fault. The world is either a good place or a bad place. And I think that's how he kind of integrates a lot of the political ideologies that we've encountered. They're very much like, they seem extreme to him, and they're presented as extreme, partially because that's just the way Harry views the world, right? Like, there's just not a lot of gray. And rather than wanting to choose an extreme, whether it's all or nothing, he kind of just, like, has the choice paralysis. Like, I'm not going to choose any of these things, even if that's not my real belief system. I'm going to stay out of it, right? One of the things that you do with people who are kind of in all or nothing thinking, black and white thinking, is you help them to find the middle path. Two things can be true at once. You can both be a good cop and a broken person, right? You can both be respected for your actions as a police officer and not respected for your candor as a citizen, like just how you carry yourself. You can both have done things that are worth feeling proud about, and also plenty of things that you're not proud about, right? And Harry has just kind of been struggling with that. Like, when she's talking about all this, it doesn't matter. And we're all alone now. It's like we're looking at it like, okay, not only is it all or nothing, like I have no one else in my life, but it's also all my fault. Personalization and black and white thinking, they're kind of two of the main ones that I see Harry, like, filtering a lot of his experiences through. That's so me. What did I do?
A window was smashed, the tape player probably, the song stopped. And furniture too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out.
Please tell me there wasn't anything else.
There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5. And that was it.
I'm just going to say nothing here. I'm just going to let that sink in.
She feeds herself another cigarette.
Okay, it's time. It's time to look her in the eye, I guess. I'm not really sure what the subtext of that is.
Soft, light brown eyes look back at you, directly into the space behind your eye sockets. You see the smoke rise from between her painted red lips. She's beautiful. I have bad news for you.
What?
You know these guys? Who? Me? Yes, you. He's talking about you, you boring stiff. You too.
What is happening?
Me? What did I do?
Why are they all, like, talking to each other?
These guys are compromised. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for info, you can't trust them anymore.
Compromise? Like, my logic? What is it? What do they do again? Intellect. And detect lies. They're compromised. So volition is chiming in to tell me that drama is like not doing its job. She's got them singing along to her tune. The little bleeps and bloops you trust for intro, you can't trust them anymore.
Believe it.
Wait, does that does that mean that Klaasje has been full of shit this whole time? Wait, so if I had better drama, my drama is a 1. My whole intellect wing is just completely fucked. If I had better drama, this voice would have spoken up and warned me that she's like being dishonest. But it didn't, because I'm a my intellect is I have nearly a 0 capacity to reason. Wait a second. What? Klaasje, I believed you. How much of what she told us is a lie? I need... how did this happen?
How it always does. Through subtlety.
What can I do?
There's nothing you can do about it.
That's bullshit.
You are how you are, and she is how she is. Things will go as they do.
Fix them. Can't you turn them normal?
No.
What? What use is this
It's
then?
better to know you're being played than to be played without knowing it, is it not?
What the fuck? I said that Klaasje was too good for this world. I've been had. We've all been had. Fucking Volition is the only one. You're all compromised. Every single one of you. Volition is the only one who's had my back this whole fucking time? Really? Wait, this is blowing my mind. So, I mean, I've spoken already about how, like, this skill system is a fucking amazing way of demonstrating that we can have competing mental states, like more than one type of motivation, like a primal neurochemical desire conflicting with a, you know, higher order moral one or professional one. And we've had like minimal interactions between them, like, yeah, physical instrument, electrochemistry, communicating with like Volition a little bit about what I should and shouldn't do. But I've never had, I don't think we've seen them like target each other and fucking call each other out like this. I can't fucking trust any of you now because, I mean, Volition is saying you're all fucked, especially these guys. That's not to say that they're misleading me, but they're clearly not working as intended. They're compromised. They're not helping me out the way they should. Which ones are effective?
There's no way of knowing. At the moment, I'm afraid
No.
it's best to assume.
No.
All of them.
Are you fucking serious?
Bullshit, man. I ain't compromised.
This is...
Especially that guy. That guy's the most compromised one in here.
well, that I agree with.
No fucking way, man. I just want a drag of that sweet menthol Ziggy. Really? Quick. Tell me what's under her jumpsuit. Glory. Truth. Softness. Protect her. She wants you.
This is crazy.
I take it back. He's got it pretty bad. But this next guy's on another level entirely. She likes you. The crown head is a boring condom. He's jealous. This is human nature.
Wait, even suggestion? Suggestion is fucked? Charm men and women, play the puppet master. You've been fucking played by Klaasje. She's had us... She's had us tied up in a weave of lies. Of fucking lies. And you all knew. I swear to God. This episode and the last one are just a roller coaster of fucking deceit and revelation. This is bullshit. Has she been lying
I
to
think
me?
it's safe to assume, yes. Mr. Thespian here hasn't been speaking up. If he were, I suspect there would be paeans to her truthfulness. Like this, no, he's not going to show up. I'm sorry.
The call
Your
out.
lie detection isn't working. It's not her doing. He's just totally inept. It looks like you're also an idiot, but that's not her fault.
Can I really blame the game for calling me an idiot? In this situation, no.
No, not an idiot. You're just more of a
Thank you.
sensitive type.
Thank you, empathy.
Thinks with his heart. This woman's pain draws you
And
in.
that's exactly what happened. This is fucking scary. That's exactly what happened. My intellect, I have not fucking cultivated this skill set at all. Which is why, as a detective, we're terrible. As a as a wannabe therapist, we're maybe a little better. We're attracted to the characters whose this actually fits fucking perfectly because think about like Kim. Kim lives in this range. He's down here and he's up here. He's like nowhere in this middle range, which is kind of where we live. He's always focused on like the case. We gotta solve the case. Stop talking to that kid on drugs. You gotta solve this murder. Why are you wasting time fucking buying books and saving this little girl? We've got a drug trade to fucking stop. Meanwhile, I'm like, no, we've got to save the youth. We've got to talk to Joyce. I feel like she's missing fulfillment in her role, and I connect with her like spiritually and existentially on her loss of meaning in the world as it's fucking being dragged down into the black despair of the pale. I want to save Kuno and I want to help Annette. And I fucking want to get Rita Girl out of this environment, and Kim is like having none of it. This is amazing. Empathy and volition. They're my only two trusted fellows left, especially the way Kim has been treating me lately. I'm just more of a sensitive type. I think with my heart. Pain draws me in. That's very true. And that makes me also wonder, like, what have we been misled on? Like, information regarding the case? I mean, that's like the least of my concerns. I would be more upset if she was like misleading me about like the fucking aching heart stuff that I detect. What's her plan?
You can't draw a sound conclusion. The one he usually does says, she may want to control the information rollout, not to become a suspect. She may have a past she's escaping, unrelated to this case. You doubt it's something truly insidious.
So maybe her untruthfulness is mostly related to the case. And she's obscuring some of her past. But the emotions are real?
See? It's oddly moderate.
I can't.
Perfectly
This is it.
compromised.
No, I need you all to just shoot it straight for me, guys. Authority. Why isn't fucking authority speaking up, okay? It's your job to rein all these motherfuckers in. I've been talking to myself long enough. Let's get back to it.
Don't worry. It's only been 4 or 5 seconds. You've got this.
Now you're manipulating me, huh? Okay, you want to play that game? I've tried. I have tried to be an empathetic, apologetic cop. I have tried to take the middle path. I don't want anything extreme. I'm trying to save this world, save myself, solve the case, and heal the universe. And what do I get? I get fucking lied to. I get laughed at by Kim. I get rejected by Kuno. I get talked down to by Joyce. And I get avoided by Fritter Girl. No, nobody wants me in this world. Nobody, not even my own inner thoughts, want anything to do with me. And all I have tried to do, all I have ever tried to do is the right thing. But now, I didn't even want to fucking face myself. I tried to protect myself from my own image. But now I don't know what to do. Now I'm starting to think maybe it's the only way to survive in this world. Maybe being like Klaasje, okay? Misleading people. Making them feel like they've always got the upper hand. Making them care about you so you can slip under the radar is actually the way to get what you want. Maybe being like Kim, so emotionally detached from the world, is the only way to actually cope with this environment and to get anything done. Maybe I even should have given those drugs to Kuna. I'm reevaluating everything now. I'm reevaluating all of our decisions. This is about to make me fucking go on a villain arc. That's what it's about to do. You want to fucking play that game, Klaasje? Fine. I'm not going to speak my truth to you either. I'm going to let the fucking moment pass.
For a second, her face disappears from your cornea. Only a silvery negative remains. Still smiling, a tired smile.
I see how it is. I fucking see how it is. You know what? If that's how this world wants to play it, I can fucking play that game. I am done with you.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint.
Where's it coming
From
from?
a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights.
Yeah.
And they solve shit.
Yeah, this is coming. You know what? Fuck it all. I am done being a sorry cop. I am done trying to help people. You know how many fucking cases I've solved? 216, 18 years in the service. That's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately.
Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop. Dick Mully. Salam Rocky Baye. Badass on the edge disco cop.
Yeah.
Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights.
Action!
With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you. And you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on.
Let's fucking go. First, let's make this absolutely clear. No one is saying you're an actual superstar in the groupies and cocaine, riddled with hepatitis C, strikes a lion-esque pose with a mic kind of way. You're not Guillaume Le Million or Davy Lewis. No, you're a metaphorical superstar. You bring that rock and roll authenticity and a passion to a line of work where people don't expect or want to see it. Where, some would say, it doesn't belong. Law enforcement. I'm fucking popping that bad boy in there right now. This is bullshit. I am fucking done playing around with this world and these fucking people. This is what I get. I'm rewarded with my earnest honesty and heartfelt intentions with fucking lies, dismissal, and coldness.
Hello, officer.
Tell me about the
Not
assault.
my favorite topic,
Oh,
but okay.
got nothing else to say,
How
do
about
you?
we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now. Yeah? All right.
All right, that's it. That's it. That's all the business we have to do. That's because that's all it is. It's all business now. Okay? Johnny Super Cop doesn't have time to play around with fucking feelings anymore. Can I go in here?
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Let's give it a push.
It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets.
I'm so pissed off right now. I just need to fucking kick something. I don't even care if it doesn't work. Just fuck it. No fucking way! Yes!
Something cracks inside.
Compromised? You're telling me physical instrument is compromised? It seems to be working just fucking fine. 8%er.
It is an unbelievably satisfying sound.
That's what a super cop does.
Nice.
Filling you with a belief in your own body.
Let's fucking go.
I think the bracket's broke inside. I've always wanted to know what's in there.
Don't talk to me.
She sounds genuinely curious.
That's a lie. You're not curious about anything. I'm going in. What do we got? Footprints?
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust.
This is here we
workshop
fucking go.
floor.
Time for me to show you my real detective skills, okay? Fuck all this other shit. It's time to solve this fucking case. Give him a study.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left the pattern, uniform, horizontal lines.
Doesn't look like the worker's boots from the hanging,
The
does it?
footprints do not speak. They simply exist here, a product of the dust, just as the footprints outside are a product of the mud and apparently different shoes.
This print doesn't look like the old sole.
The footprints are of one type. They do not congratulate you for correctly recognizing what type they are not. The footprints are still there. They have told their story.
I'm gonna squeeze the truth out of them. Out of everybody! Someone's been back here
The
recently.
dust has not settled again where these footprints have been made. The displacement in this dusty hell tells a story.
What does it mean?
Neither the footprints nor the dust speak their secrets, but you know it means that someone has been back here.
It's great detective work. There's someone has been here. There are footprints. What do we got here? Pinball machine has been taken apart and gutted. Schematics for a pinball machine. Boxes of tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Someone building something? Small windows taped shut with black plastic. You can't see outside. What do we got here? Some smokes. Some cash. That's just how a fucking super cop gets it done, okay? Pinball maker's coat. Empathy and hand-eye coordination. You know what? I don't think I need any empathy. The feelings valve is turned off. I think we need to I'm gonna pump up my fucking the only traits that have truly told me what is good and honest and true are the ones inside my own body. That's right. The story I am doing this completely purposefully. The story of our character is perfectly encapsulating what many people in recovery experience. You know, going on the straight and narrow and finding that their efforts feel in some ways like they have plateaued, right? You're putting in so much work, so much effort into something. You're putting in these coping skills. You're trying to change everything about yourself. But man, when you feel like you've been wronged for doing the right thing, which you feel like you've been doing the right thing, it can really throw you back hard into not only relapse on substances, but relapse on behavior. We got different kinds of smokes here. We've got some rare smokes. Let's pop those in. You know what? I'm gonna carry those bad boys around. Look how fucking badass we look now. What else we got here? Composure. -1 to authority, although our logic is up from that. Visual calculus. We could use some of that too for our detective work. That's pretty cool. And what did that thought cabinet... What does that give us? -2 to logic. So that made our logic worse, but it's temporary, hopefully. What do we got? Intellect is raised. What are some of these other things? Can lose some authority. Okay, we'll come back to that. Let's inspect this secret passageway a little bit. I feel like I'm cheating at the game somehow by being here. I so should not have passed that 8%er. Oh. Why is Kim here? How did he get here? What the fuck? How did you get here? I don't want you here. Good morning. Yeah. It's a little suspicious, Kim. You just appear in this passageway. I think that's the game literally telling me I should not be here right now. Like, I have actually broken the game, but it's realized. That's great. Cash! It's just cash lying around. I figure in morning. What do we got here?
Over
Pinball
there,
machines.
in the corner.
Pinball machine.
Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it.
Let's take a closer look.
Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin operated. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready.
Let's get those flippers going.
Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Muindi. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people.
Inspect
The
playing
theme of the
field.
game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble.
Cool.
The peak of the mountain
This
is
is-
at the top of the playfield.
Winning this is going to make me very
All
cool.
the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represents Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit.
What's with the goats?
Indeed. Think of them as balls.
Let's do it. We're fucking... It's like not even several... It's like 5 minutes into the next day and we're already halfway to our next milestone. Fuck it. We ball.
It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease. Go, go, Fingerboy.
Boom.
I feel sorry for the goats. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was.
What kind of guy was he?
The kind of a guy who uses the word savages a lot when recounting his travels.
Oh, so
A
he was
masked nationalist.
a racist.
An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent.
Keep our moral center. We're not suddenly gonna be, you know, ditch our ideas about the worth of human life. It is not cool.
He also hit his wife.
That is
And
very
kids.
not cool.
Other people's kids too. Sometimes pets. Hateful little man.
He's the kind of guy that Johnny Supercop would put behind bars.
But you seem to be having fun.
Yeah. I am having fun, Kim. If you ever have any questions about what that's like, feel free to ask.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go.
Go for it.
Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. The words "pale rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening.
We're fucking gaming so hard the machine is smoking.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid nihilistic finale.
Watch this open a secret passageway.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next.
This is okay. This is where our wing of intellect that's been sleeping needs to wake the fuck up.
You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death.
Oh, it's a red check. I can only try it once. Kim, it can be done.
I am. I've seen it before. Played it too. You will eventually make a mistake and then it's all over.
I'm fucking sweating, man. Reaction speed? Should I just pump this fucking thing up? Got 3 skill points. Super Cop Brady is not conservative. The way boring, sorry cop, centrist Brady is. I swear, I am throwing it all out. This game has challenged me to my very core. and now when I feel like I invested so much emotional honesty into fucking Klaasje, and I was spit in the face with her dishonesty and Kim's cold-hearted lack of warmth. I'm ready to become an extremist super cop. Let's go. We fucking ball. I'm gonna pump 2 in. We're at 28. Fuck it. We're going all the way, dude. We're fucking going all the way. We're up to 42%. We roll the dice.
Ow.
No!
Can't even see it. The last goat plummets into the fog with almost suicidal glee.
No!
It killed itself to spite you.
Oh, fuck.
There goes nothing, finger boy.
Now, I told you, we're gonna relapse hard, and our disappointment is now escalating.
Some kind of superstar.
Let's go.
They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off
and die.
in a cool voice.
Yeah,
You
that's how I
people
feel.
have no idea
That's how I feel right now.
good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day.
Yeah.
In the future, cops
Yeah.
will be like astrophysicists or prime ministers or prophets. And you're the first one.
Fucking let's go. All right. Fucking superstar cop. Damn, I
The machine is dead and silent.
was hoping we could win that.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
This door is connected to the one upstairs.
There must be a key somewhere. Probably somewhere in the whirling. It's not too important.
Okay. We can leave this place for now. I don't think there's anything else to do here.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in.
Check out those
There
controls.
are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken.
This is... I actually broke the game. It's acting like we've not already come down this thing. Like, I am so not supposed to be here.
Seems so, although it's pretty quaint for a freight elevator.
Let's go up. Wow, I actually broke the game. And the game broke me. Okay, there's something else I want to say about Klaasje. So, let's talk about this for a second, all right? I'm going to take my role-playing cop Brady the video gamer hat off. Because I think for narrative purposes, yeah, I'm going to lean into, like, this moment being, like, teaching our character the wrong thing about what it meant to be misled. He doesn't even know what he's being misled on. It's the confrontation of, like, someone that I trusted has lied to me. That's, like, making us upset, right? And that's enough for him. From Brady's perspective, okay, let me give you my little secret about being a therapist, which is that in my mind, you never lose. You cannot lose as a therapist because, you know, there's going to be times where your clients don't tell you everything. There's going to be times where they mislead you on certain things, where they leave information out, or whether they just outright lie to you, right? Especially working in the addiction space, you know, there's definitely times where I've sitting down with clients and, you know, they've clearly had a relapse or something, and you know, I can just see it on their demeanor or in their eyes, and, like, you know, I've definitely had that moment where I've just been very blunt with them, and I'm like, you know, are you using right now? And, you know, dead in the eyes, they'll say no. It's happened before, and it hurts, you know, obviously, because, like, you enter a relationship of you know, mutual interest in a person's well-being, and you, in a helping role, want to do everything you can to help them, right? When I say you can't lose, what I mean by that is I always make it very clear to, you know, people who I can tell, like, don't really want to be talking to me. You know, for the person who's, like, wants to be in therapy, I don't need to, you know, make this sort of disclaimer. But for the person who clearly sees me as an obstacle to kind of get around, I usually say something to the effect of, like, look, you know, my responsibility to you is to help you out in any way that I can. But I'm only able to, like, hold up the mirror and I can, you know, show you things about yourself that are based on what you bring into this, right? But I'm only going to be able to work with what you give me. So in that sense, like, if you give me good information, you will get good help, right? If you are honest about what you're going through, if you are invested in finding out more about yourself and how to improve things, then the information you give me about that will help me problem solve with you and find the right solutions, right? You give me good information, you get good help. If you give me bad information, if you give me the wrong kinds of details about your life, if you mislead me, lie to me, whatever, then you will get bad help, because, like, what you're putting into the mirror is already a facade, right? So you can come in and tell me that everything is fine, and if you're really convincing, I'll say, great, we have nothing more to work on, and you will have gotten around me as an obstacle and learned nothing and not benefited from that, right? What I lose in that is, you know, I want to help this person, but really, like, it's the person themselves who's losing out. Like, you're only hurting yourself by not using the resources that we're there to offer about like how to move forward with things. So you can give me all kinds of wrong details. You can mislead me to believe that you have these emotional problems. If I was talking to Klaasje and she told me she had really low self-esteem, and I'd spend all the time, talking about how I would work on that subject, and I would give her all kinds of information that doesn't really apply to her. And she will have wasted her time, right? My time will not be wasted. Like it's her life that's in the process of change. If she's the client in this relationship. I know that in the game we're not a therapist. I'm just talking from a point of reference, right? If I was working with someone like Klaasje who I discovered to be misleading me, I think of that like, look, the only one you're hurting is yourself. You give me good information, you'll get a good, honest approach. And if you give me information that's not really relevant, then the help you get won't be relevant either. And whatever consequences there are to that, they will find you eventually, and you will not be as prepared for them if you had taken the time to actually like work with me on things. So it's hard. It sucks. There's been times, like I said, where I either know that I'm being misled, or I find out later, and there's the like personal hit that takes to your ego of like, oh, was I not a trustworthy person to them? But sometimes, I also don't want to personalize that and just say like, look, they have their own reasons for, maybe they just weren't ready, or maybe they have been through enough things that's made it very hard to trust people, especially someone like me who they have no history with prior to meeting me, and they're just like, what, you want me to trust you for nothing? It's kind of hard for people to buy into that sometimes. So there's no losing, really, like in that sense for the therapist. But what's lost is, good help that could have been offered, basically a missed opportunity, more so than like, being lied to and wasting. I never consider it a waste of time, basically. Maybe that's a better way to say it than like losing. It's not a competition, right? I never feel like I wasted my time. It's more like a reflection on the person if they're wasting their own time, right? Because even if you give me information that I'm giving you skills or whatever that don't apply to you, it's still good information, right? It's just not good to you because the information you gave me wasn't about you. It was either made up or whatever. And maybe they'll find it useful at some point, right? That said, this doesn't happen very often. Klaasje is a video game character, right? Like I was definitely had by her and her convincing dialogue. In real life, it's a little different. People are even harder to read. But because I have this perspective about things, like this is really for you. It's not for me. I'm not a detective. I'm not there to sort out the truth. I'm there to help you based on what you give me, with a mutual understanding that this is that you came into this honestly, as I have, right? If there are times where I'm like, I know you're going to be a harm to yourself or someone else, then yes, the truth would be very important to me. But even for simple stuff, if you come in and you tell me that like everything in your relationship is fine, and it's just your work environment that's a stressor, sometimes I'll just go with that. But the more we talk about things, the more I'll start piecing things together and say, I know you said that your work was the real stressor and your relationship is fine, but do you talk to your partner about your work? And say, well, no. Okay, well, this is one of the most stressful things going on for you right now. What are some of the reasons you don't talk about it with your partner? Well, we don't talk about anything. Oh, okay, so it does seem like there are problems in the relationship, right? I find my way there if I suspect that someone is, I wouldn't say like lying or misleading, but just, trying to steer my attention away from something for whatever number of reasons. Maybe they don't really want to work on that. Maybe they're not ready to. Maybe it's a sensitive subject. I don't know, right? All kinds of combinations could come up. If someone tells me, I don't want to talk about that, though, I'll say, all right, look, this is your time, right? We don't have to talk about that. However, my assessment is that it is a related subject, and to benefit from what I can offer you in working on the one issue, it's worth incorporating or at least exploring ideas about how to improve the other situation, right? Like, I would make my case. But at the end of the day, I'm going to return what you put in. And if you start drawing boundaries around that, you know, if you're someone like Klaasje who maybe was like dishonest about the details of the case, but her emotional truth was still there, like the lack of self-esteem, I still sense that. I wouldn't know if that's like, you know, totally a lie or not, but I feel like the way we picked up on her emotional reasoning felt very accurate. And I would come to the conclusion that, like, her self-esteem, her self-worth is evidently lowered to the effect that she feels like she has to be misleading or guarded or is unable to trust that if she were totally honest, we wouldn't hold it against her, right? The fact that she did mislead us or lie to us points to, you know, some personality flaws that are very tangibly linked to issues of self-worth and self-esteem. That's all to explain why I feel very, like, I feel mixed about fucking Klaasje now, because as a character, I'm still very captivated by her. But the context of being a Harry who probably looks at her as, kind of like we talked about in one of the last episodes, like, everyone he meets feels like an archetype of something. And Klaasje, his first impressions seem to be she's the archetype of, like, potentially a trustworthy feminine figure. We've gotten some hints or suggestions that Harry has had a very, you know, a traumatic backstory with his relationships. And so he probably does, you know, have lots of biases that he constantly confirms about the way women are manipulative, that they are dishonest, and that they are not trustworthy people that he can express his emotions safely with. And to, like, believe that Klaasje was different, and then to suspect that actually she's just like that, just like how he already thinks all, you know, beautiful women are, is part of the reason why I'm gonna lean into, like, the, you know, these are all compromised, and everything that he's been trying to do to hold himself together is now wavering. This is a fascinating development. This merging of the game's narrative with my personal narrative of playing it, and the path that we've sort of taken and the belief structures that we've had our character to identify with, to now have them sort of, like, kind of all fall down together. So one way that I'll put this is, like, I could go into a whole, like, lecture on this. I won't. I'll do it very briefly. Like, one of the ways to look at people's belief systems is through the ideas of schemas, right? I think I've talked about this before, but a schema is basically a schematic. It's a blueprint for how you organize something in your mind, right? And you can have schemas about really simple stuff, like, you know, cigarettes are bad for you. That's a blueprint about that thing that, you know, we've developed out of firsthand experience or from cultural influence, whatever, right? They come from all kinds of places. But your schema could be very different than mine. They can be very subjective. And they can change over time. I could develop an affinity for cigarettes that I didn't have before. In the process of change, right, we're reevaluating those schemas and saying, oh, well, maybe some of this, like, some of these behaviors and personality traits that we were before that led to the alcoholism and the depression, maybe those are worth reevaluating. Let's take that tower of ideas down, those schemas, those blueprints that all kind of form like a tower of beliefs. Let's take it down and start building up new ones. Maybe by being more apologetic, we can connect more with people. Maybe by taking more accountability, we can feel more self-assured. Maybe by appealing more to emotion, we can be less deceived by the vices of like logic and reasoning and all sorts of things. And we've been building that tower up, and now it's all just come fucking crumbling down because the foundational layer of it, the schemata at the bottom of like change is good for us, is suddenly in question. And so all the ideas that we've built on top of that fundamental conceit are now like wobbling around, and we're like not sure about them. And so we're like, fuck it, I don't know what to believe, right? It can get really complicated. The thing I will say up front about our narrative here is that those ideas are not gone. The sorry cop, the boring cop, all of the all of the virtues we've been exploring, they're not gone. We're just questioning them now and resorting to old neural pathways because we've been able to rely on them before for, quick, easy ways to build ourselves back up. Oh, you're gonna lie to me? Yeah, well, I don't fucking need you for the case anyways. Oh, you think I'm boring? Well, I'm just gonna, take an extreme stance on things now, right? Like, we would engage in very compensatory behaviors. My hope, again, stepping back from Brady the role player to just me playing the game, is that as we lean into that relapse territory, for the sake of Harry and for the good virtues we've developed about wanting to save this world, that somewhere in the narrative we are given like a justification to revalidate those things that we are, as of now, exploring, abandoning. This world needs a sorry cop. It fucking does. It doesn't need a super cop. Okay? We know where that leads. It leads to tragedy and depression. But that's where it's steering us right now with this event. And I'm gonna stick to that until we're given a moment of realignment. This has been a tragic whirlwind of an episode. I guess we'll see where things go from here. Well, as always, thank you for watching. I super appreciate it. This playthrough is just continuing to get more and more interesting, and there's already so many subjects that I want to dive deeper into as we keep going here. And if you enjoyed this video, then do like, subscribe, share. There's still plenty of people who are coming on board, even though the episodes are in the 20s now. We're not slowing down. In fact, I hope to speed up the recording of these episodes going forward. So there'll be plenty. I think that will be on the early access archive for our Patreon supporters in the coming days here. So if you'd like to check out the new episodes before they make it to YouTube, you can do so by supporting the channel. It's very much appreciated. Otherwise, simply watching the videos is enough. I do so appreciate you guys spending so much time just watching me unravel. It's always fun. So yeah, other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.